We set out the commitment to 2.5 by 2027-28. I set out at the same time how we would fund it, and we will continue to take the approach to any spending commitment that we make. He will know that we made a commitment in our manifesto in relation to not raising taxes on working people, and we will keep to that commitment.
James Clever.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I welcome the element of the Prime Minister's statement where he explicitly links defence, diplomacy and domestic security.
People, and we will keep to
James Clever.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I welcome the element of the Prime Minister's statement where he explicitly links defence, diplomacy and domestic security, and he is absolutely right to highlight that interconnection. Therefore, will he revisit the spending review, which sees 4.5% and 5% real terms reductions in Home Office and FCDO budgets to make sure they can actually do their jobs within that interconnected system? And in order to pay for that, will he ensure his Chancellor removes the job-destroying taxes on employment, reduces the tax burden which is seeing entrepreneurs and wealth creators leave the country in their droves, and will he show real leadership and ensure his backbenchers do not prevent his front bench from reducing the cost of our welfare bill so we can pay for these incredibly important governmental functions?
Well, I think on the question of the Home Office responsibility in relation to domestic security, he's absolutely right, and that's why it's important under the new definition of NATO that resilience at home is now included, because cyber attacks are commonplace. Attacks on energy has been weaponised, and there are many counter-terrorism operations that have to be carried out in relation to state threats. We were very careful in the spending review to make sure there was adequate money on all of those threats, and I went through that myself, so I can give him that assurance. In relation to the money coming in and out of the country, he'll no doubt want to celebrate. We've had record investment under this Labour government in the last 12 months, £120 billion, including the single biggest, which was £40 billion 2 days ago from Amazon, the single biggest investment, a sign of confidence in this government, being measured in many jobs across the country. Well,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rochdale has been a proud home for Ukrainians ever since they were forced to flee Soviet starvation, murder and oppression in the 1930s and 40s. And so many in my constituency will warmly welcome the decision to send 350 advanced air missiles to Ukraine, built in Britain and paid for by the interest on those seized Russian assets. So does he agree that Russia, not Ukraine, should pay the price for Putin's barbaric war?
Yes, I do, and I think it's very important that we emphasise when we do send these missiles to Ukraine that, one, we're supporting Ukraine, as we have done throughout, but secondly, that is not paid for by the British taxpayer, but is paid for on the interest of Russian assets that have been frozen.
Helen Maguire.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the Prime Minister agree with me that in the context of the threat posed by Putin, we must be providing more guidance and support to Britons to prepare them for the possibility of a future conflict, and that this should involve a national resilience campaign?
Well, I do think we need to focus on resilience, and in a sense, the shift to 5% is a reflection that national resilience is becoming ever more central in relation to our own national defence.